2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Here we go. Philly special. Ready?
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
That's right. Welcome to the Northeast Philly Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1. Yeah, look at us. Back for second season here. We are just going to be doing our recap, I guess, if you will, of Phillies, Eagles, and if Fuzzy is so inclined to give us the scoop on the Sixers and Flyers. Because at this point, it's hard for me to care about a team that their ownership doesn't care about the fandom. So I'm kind of out until I feel like they care about us. But that's an ownership that's there to make money. But how you boys doing? We got Eric from the Philly Podcast and Fuzz from every podcast imaginable.
Only 3. Relax.
How you doing, guys?
I'm good. Glad to be back on the Northeast Pod.
Well, it was nothing like watching USA hockey and then watching Flyers hockey.
We're kind of talking about that in the like show prep. Like it's kind of I think it's kind of funny that it's like Canada definitely played way better even just throughout all of the Olympics. And Canada, just watching Canada fans go online and just cry. Hockey is, you just have to play. You have to have bigger plays. And there were just bigger plays on USA side, and defensively, you didn't do it. Team Canada, so like, don't be sour. Like I don't want anyone to. It's like that's not me challenging, but I
mean, their fans are crashing out on social media.
They really are.
They really are. Like I saw one guy, this girl. She posted something about the video of Sidney Crosby's golden goal and said, "This is the only golden goal that matters." And she was just getting eviscerated in the comments, and she had to shut the comments off. She literally posted, "I'm going to shut the comments off because you people need jobs," and that was it. And I'm like, well, stop being a flappy-headed Canadian. Stop what you're crying.
I understood that reference.
Which one?
A flappy-headed Canadian. That's definitely South Park, right?
Absolutely South Park.
Okay, all right. All right. I just want to make sure I caught that reference.
You're like, I got that.
I caught that. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. Circle gets a square.
That is correct.
So let's kind of get into it. I think
I missed it. You were saying how Canada fans handled the loss with such class and everything else, right? They were very, congratulations, Team USA.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm glad you paid attention to exactly what we were saying. Thanks, bud.
They handled it with perfect class.
That's what you get for booing our national anthem. That's what you get. Sorry.
We booed theirs. I don't want to hear about it. We've given it both ways. I know.
It's all
I will
back
argue. It was just. It all comes down to if we're talking about the game that was played and the game that I watched. Yeah, I mean, Canada did play really well in the Olympics. I'm not saying they really didn't. They just didn't play a better final, and that's
Canada played a better game. Unfortunately, we played better because we had the better goalie. There's 6 players on the ice. There's not 5. They had a 5-on-3. They couldn't score. Our goalie was better than their goalie, plain and simple. At that point of the game, our our 6 were better than their 6. It's just the way the game is. And our 6 just happened to be the goalie who made probably the save of the
Save of a life, save of a generation.
He comes back to the
Right.
NHL the other night and gives up 5 goals.
Right. Danny, I just want to remind you, I'm not your guy, friend. Okay.
Hey,
Danny
guy.
Burris checking in
Hey, guy.
over at Quit Chasing Pod. I'm looking forward to they're going to probably be starting up soon as well. Let's get into the Dombrowski Harp situation. I think it's been one of the biggest storylines hanging over the Phillies this offseason. If you look at, aside from failures and all of those things that, we did not do, Bo Bichette and just other major moves that fans were expecting. I think this started surprisingly over a blunt critique that spiraled. I'd say something like that was like months of speculation now. So the good news, I think, is that the air is finally cleared, maybe, as we head into the 2026 season. But here's the complete breakdown. Back in October of 2025, there was a not elite comment made by Dave Dombrowski. So this was following the NLDS game against the elimination from the Dodgers. Harper went 3 for 15 with 0 RBIs in the series. So Dombrowski is holding his end of season press conference. He's asked about Harper's 2025 season, where he posted a 261 batting average and an 844 OPS. So you're like, hey, 844 OPS, that's not terrible, but it's been his lowest since 2019. And so Dombrowski, I think, gave a reasonably candid answer, which he is prone to do. He is prone to put foot in mouth. And he stated that while Harper was still a very good and all-star caliber player, he did not have an elite season. Now I'm going to pause it right here. Gentlemen, up until that point, is there anything wrong with that statement?
I didn't find anything wrong with his statement. I thought he was kind of accurate. I mean, he wasn't saying that he's no longer an elite player. He just didn't have that type of season that people are used to seeing Bryce Harper have. I don't think what he said was wrong at all.
Okay. Fuzz, where you at on that? And I paused it right there because there is a little bit of follow-up from Dombrowski, and you might already know what his kind of insinuation was from this point forward, which may have been the actual trigger for Harper. I'm just asking, do you think him saying he didn't have an elite season is something a GM is absolutely allowed to say during a press conference and being eliminated?
I do think there's a time and a place, and saying he's not elite at that time, I think it was dumb on Dombrowski's part, because now it's all the talk the offseason. It's all the talk of, now we're talking about it. Other pods are talking about it.
Right.
It's there's a time and a place for it. I think he should have worded it or misworded it. I think he was misworded. I don't know. I just think it was a bad take. It's
right.
You don't. How often do you hear? Can you remember? And you remember Howie Roseman critiquing any of our players?
We hear, so if we ever get rumblings of that, it's generally speaking, it's Howie went to go talk to that player, not that Howie shat on that player. Like, right, that's the manager's job to talk about performances overall in the season. And I know Dombrowski's a GM and things like that. Now I'll get into you where this may have fueled the fire. Dombrowski then openly questioned whether Harper could rise to that top 10 level again as he ages, and saying, and I quote, "I guess we will only find out if he becomes elite or he continues to be good. We will see what happens." So, this is in, October. In December, you get a t-shirt response. And this is where you get trolling, I think, done right in this city, right? It's directly done. You know who it's being said to. It's not vague. It is It is pretty much to the point, but it's indirect, right? And so the comments immediately raised eyebrows. So I don't want to say from, October to December, there was nothing. Immediately the press latched onto it. So we have been talking about it since the comments now 5 months ago. And it was clear that it did rub Harper the wrong way. So in late December, Harper posted a batting practice video of himself on social media wearing a custom t-shirt that simply read "Not Elite."
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, that was it.
Right? Didn't say "fuck you, Dave." It didn't say
We don't curse on this podcast. I'm fucking sorry.
Okay. And so that's about all it goes. So that's December. February rolls around. We have spring training arrival. Harper's there in Clearwater. Immediately pressed him on the situation. Like, there is no time to lose. WIP, everybody, the Fanatics down there, everyone is down there. And Harper did admit that the whole situation was kind of wild to him, right? He thought, and I didn't get clarity on that. So I'm just gonna say, like, where he clarified the issue wasn't necessarily the critique of his stats. He openly acknowledged that he didn't have the regular season or postseason that the team wanted. He was frustrated by the public delivery. He emphasized that when he originally signed his 13-year deal, the mutual agreement was to keep criticisms and organizational matters in-house. Okay, sounds fair, right?
Fair enough.
He felt that Dombrowski broke that trust by airing the assessment of not elite to the media. And that is where his sticking point was. I was always on the assumption that it was, we'll see if he can ever get back to being better. Like, that's just a terrible thing to say about one of your big dogs in the house. There was clarification. So there's a little side story here where people, were starting the rumor that Harper wanted Hoskins back and this, that, and a third. Harper just brushed that aside. I said, I did want Hoskins back in the 2025 season when it made sense. But right now, with the organization we're setting up, none of that makes sense right now. Does it add some right-handed power? Sure, but we have a first baseman. We already have a DH. He is with the Cleveland Guardians, right? Is he on a minor league deal? I think that's where he landed. Is that right?
I want to say so. I'm looking that up right now.
Okay. But it was definitely about the trade deadline. Like, Harper said, I did want Reese back for the 2025 trade deadline, not this offseason. And then he did confirm that they had a meeting, right? They squashed the beef. Okay. Apparently, John Middleton, Rob Thompson, Dombrowski, Harper, they all sat down to talk about it. And like all gentlemen do, they have said what was specifically said behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. If it gets heated, you won't hear it from him. And he stated that he didn't feel disrespected by the organization. He says this tension, it's firmly in the past. So,
right.
Do you guys buy that? Right. And I don't want to make this the drama of the season, but do you buy that Harper, Dombrowski, Middleton, Thompson all sat down? I buy that this is not something, or is it just Middleton getting Dombrowski getting his hand slapped and they're like, yo, bro, what are you doing? And they're all like, yeah, Dave, you fucked up. Like, how do you think it went, the conversation?
Go ahead, Chris.
I don't think it went anyway. I think it is what it is. And, they're letting Dombrowski run this team. And I don't think it was just, not that it's swept on their rug, but they just carried on and moved along.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I got from it too. I mean, especially with Harper's comments about Reese Hoskins, like, hey, that's when I did want him back at one point, but that's not the direction we're going in right now. So it's definitely sounds like whatever conversation they had that they are, I want to say, on the same page, and or at least there's an understanding of where they're going with this team. So your biggest star by far on the team. I mean, like, I want to say that I call him the biggest star on the team because he's just out there all the time. Like, you think of the Phillies, you think of Bryce Harper. So for him to say that, I want to say that they're kosher right now. Let's put it that way. They're right there. They're together.
It's all very fair. Now, early reports from camp, he's showing up looking phenomenal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Exit velos looking just, dare I say, elite. Those numbers. He's already got, I think he has 2 home runs. He's not getting as much play time as the others. He's maybe playing 2 or 3. He's just getting in his, he's gearing up to represent USA in the World Baseball Classic right now. And I think he is just getting in those reps. But all indications, he looks really good. He did training, and there's no, I don't think there's any surprise to that, right? That's what Bryce Harper is known for, putting in the work. And almost to a fault, I think it's caused friction with some teammates on other teams and maybe some on this team, and how he approaches the game very seriously. And so I think he did approach it professionally on his side, in terms of how he would get better, because while Dave Dombrowski didn't say anything untrue, he's supposed to keep that shit locked down, right? In terms of how they're gonna talk to each other. And so I think that will wrap it up, unless we hear anything for the remainder of the season, right? Unless there's any more rumblings or anything like that. And you know how people get, right? They're gonna, at least this has shown up in the case of AJ, right? Where you're like, no, we're all good. And then you later find out he's been talking shit to everybody, and it ain't all good. Because if it's all good, you stop talking about it, right? You move on. And so I think we'll see if it boils back up into something else, then we know it wasn't good. And so I think time only tells with those types of situations, especially when it comes to management and players.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I do. I feel the same way. I really do. I think it's just going to kind of like a wait and see type deal to see how the season plays out. If this isn't resolved, or something happen, like, I don't know, maybe trade deadline, if nothing happens to Harper's liking, we'll hear about it.
Yeah.
Let us know.
So let's get into spring training in terms of Fuzzy. Are you farting, or did you not like what Eric said?
He's not getting traded.
That rumor of that blockbuster Yankees trade.
Yeah.
That thing was awesome. I read it. I was like, oh, stop it. He's 6 years into it. He's a steal any way you look at it. Unless they're handing us Aaron Judge. Shut up.
Why do I want Aaron Judge?
You want Aaron? Shut up. I know you hate the guy. Shut up.
I want a guy who doesn't perform in the postseason. I got 3 of them. Why do I want another one?
Right. It's just a simple trade-off. So with spring training, we've got 22 of 26 of those positions pretty much locked in, right? The core identity of the team remains veteran heavy. And I think we are hungry for another October run. That is without doubt. These guys, I think with re-signing Schwarber, he is a dose of clubhouse direction that you cannot replace. And so I think that's a good narrative. There are some new dynamics. You got Adolis Garcia. He's taking over in right field I think we're looking for some like power back into the lineup. Maybe protect Harper a little bit better. You got Justin Crawford. He is getting every opportunity to be the guy who's trying to be the center fielder. But there are some key roster battles. I'm going to knock the first one out, even though this is the last on the list that I have for the show, because I know I want to get Fuzzy into this. Oh, look at that little doggy. Look at that little doggy. All right, dude, calm down. You're getting close. All right. Jesus,
He's my boy.
you're getting awfully close there to me questioning a lot about you.
I've already questioned it.
Let's just do it. Let's get into the one that is and this one actually has more of a and you can't dismiss this. It is the backup catcher battle, right? And so we have Rafael Marchand, we have Garrett Stubbs, both out of options. Both of them out of options at this point. And so whoever you go with, the other one is going on waivers. Either one is getting picked up. So it's not like you can really play around with that. And they're not going for another minor league contract. Neither one of them. Stubbs can get a major league deal as a backup on any other team. So Fuzz, you're kind of the wild card here. I would love to hear a sensible take on this one. Eric, who do you want? You a Stubbsy guy or a Marchand guy?
Dude, I want to keep Marchand. Stubbs is only good if you're going to make the playoffs and you need a DJ in the locker room. That's all you need. That's it. I don't like Garrett Stubbs. I don't. As a matter of fact, once he's gone from this organization, he'll probably never play again. He's not good. I know Marchand's not that much better, but I don't need a guy just running around in overalls, drinking beer, making a playlist. I need more than that.
All right, I'll be right back. I gotta.
You're too fat to be Garrett Stubbs. So yeah, I would rather have Marchand.
You know oh boy. Okay. The breath from Fuzzy was a little are you okay, bud? All right. Tell us why you want Garrett Stubbsy. And
who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, given the choice between those two, I'd rather have Darren Dalton's ashes than those two catchers.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna clip that one. Jesus.
I'd let them both go and use somebody in the minors. I'm sorry. Like,
the last time we did that, we ended up with NAP. So I just and
which
you're
is
like
the same thing we have now.
No. You and me watched Nap with 7 pass balls in the minor game one day. What are we talking about? Stop it, dude. They are not the same. It's
but he's not the starter.
Right. But so let's get real. They're both out of options. So there is going to be a loser to this battle.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's the fans, because we have to deal with one of them.
Well, Marchand won the job last year. And we all know Stubbs is a beloved clubhouse presence and a fan favorite, if you will. That's not enough for Eric. And for me, if I have to pick between either one of these two as the backup, I want Stubbsy. I do. Like that's if you're telling me I have to pick, I want Stubbs. If you're telling me I can have an option to either bring another guy up or we have something, okay, I'm willing to talk to you about it. Give me names. But if I have to pick, like, I suggested, it's Stubbsy for me.
Okay.
More consistent. He can call, I think, a better game. There's more confidence behind the plate, and he's kind of a clutch hitter. And Philly Fanatic, neither one can play, but at least Stubbs has vibes, right? And I know that's
I mean, that is fair to say that.
It is.
It's kind of a thing. Like I don't want to downplay that. I don't want to say that's not worth nothing. Like when a team has someone in there that can be glue and keep spirits high and keep the team moving along, that is important. So that is, you have leadership with Harper, Schwarbs, Turner, JT, and then you've got like a little bit of like these guys on their grind, with
Well, look, if
Stott
you want
and
if you
Bone.
want a guy that's going to be a vibe, and you want a guy that's going to be like one of those glues to the clubhouse,
Yeah.
you had him and you let him walk. His name was Harrison Bader. The guy brought some stability to that clubhouse. He loved it here. The players loved him. The fans loved him, and you let him go. You let him walk out the door. And now we're sitting here talking about who would you rather have, two shit ass players just because one's a vibe, and we let someone that's kind of decent leave. He's not great, but he was by far he was a spark plug for this team for 2 months.
Bader to me was definitely worth the dollar, the luxury tax hit. I think the Phillies they're going with Garcia. We'll see what that looks like.
Listen, I like Bader. I got nothing against Bader. The guy's a career 247 batting. Like that's like, we were just talking about Harper, batting 261 and how great that is. Now we're gonna pay another guy $10 million to bat 14 points below than that. I mean, I don't know what you're gonna get with Aldeus Garcia, but you're not paying $10 million to Brandon Marsh. You're not paying $10 million to Johan Rojas. Like, it's, listen, the Phillies are, here's the problem. This is why they didn't sign Bader, because the Phillies are going to be good this year regardless. They're going to win anywhere between 87 to maybe 90 games. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to get knocked out. They're going to keep us intrigued until football season happens. It's what the Phillies do. Their best chance was to win it in 2023. They didn't. They're the same team except older. But they're really good on the pitching end. It doesn't look like Wheeler's going to miss as much time as people thought he was going to be. You're looking at maybe he's going to miss 3, maybe at total 4 starts, which
that's insane. That's insane.
You can go 2-2 in those starts. That's fine. But let's just go real quick and talk about Zach Wheeler and Bryce Harper. We got Bryce Harper draining his blood, and we got Zach Wheeler saving his rib. What in the witchcraft is going on in the Phillies clubhouse? What is that about? Like, someone like, I work with was like, hey, because obviously they follow the podcast. Like, so what are your thoughts on, Bryce Harper draining his blood and putting it back in? And I'm like, dude, I have nothing. I don't know what to say to that. Yeah, Philly fanatics, I believe they are, because I don't think the Mets are still the Mets. They're not a good organization. They're not. Bo Bichette is going to eventually cost them close to $96 million for one season. Do you know how outrageous that is? Because of I was about to tell you the luxury cap. Ridiculous. And he's not looking good at third. I know it's only spring training. But the Phillies, at the end of the day, the Phillies had the better pitching staff. Like, let's be realistic. Other than Nola, the Phillies do have a really good pitching staff.
Well, Nola, look, I know he had a brutal 2025. He posted a 6.01 ERA, had some injuries.
Was it me or JV? No, it was JV. He said Nola's going to have 17
wins. But he actually came out firing in his debut against the Marlins this spring. So he's already pitched 2 innings. He gave up 1 ERA. But there were just some really good metrics in there. So he's getting.
We'll see. To quote Drunk Phil's fan, he's going to go to the World Baseball Classic and serve up some Mamma Mia beat meatballs.
He's just ticking up. He's ticking up velocity, movement. I don't care what he does at the World Baseball Classic. It doesn't have any bearing on me. But the reason I'm saying that it looks good. He's getting a 40% whiff rate, and then he threw. So get this, his his first pitch strikes to 7 of 8 batters. Like, that's what Nola needs to do, right? He needs to get himself into a count. He needs to get a little more comfortable. 0-1, 0-1, 1-1, 1-2. Just get into a vibe where he doesn't get himself into trouble. And that's nice to see that he had that against 7 of 8 batters, that he got himself into a good spot. And that's good, like you said and mentioned, because with Wheeler probably sidelined to start the year, we're looking at the Phillies desperately needing that version of Nola and not the 6.01 ERA Nola. Let's talk about Andrew Painter. I think that's the absolute best story of spring so far. So it's exactly 3 years after his last Grapefruit League appearance and then having Tommy John surgery. He went up against the Yankees and he just looked electric, dude. He threw 2 no-hit innings, retiring 6 straight batters. He retooled his four seam and averaged it to about 96.8 miles per hour and got it up to 97.8. So he did have an 8-pitch battle against Jason Dominguez with a nasty slider for a strikeout. And so I think this is I think he's firmly on track to be the number 4 or 5 starter on opening day, especially with the Wheeler situation and how he is progressing since the Tommy John surgery. I think this might be a very exciting. We've all been crying, where's Andrew Painter? And I think here he is.
Well, I mean, they're saying Painter's looking good. All right.
I mean, he is.
Yeah.
His outing, he looked great, dude. He had a no-hitter.
Yeah. So, I mean, because I'm not going to lie to you, with the offseason that they had, I was a little concerned. Like, okay, fine, you let Ranger go. I knew they had plans for Painter to come up, which, all right, it's a natural progression. This is how the game works.
Right.
And the same thing with Crawford. So that's
that injury, that Tommy John. I think we've gotten spoiled by seeing guys like Shohei and Bryce and who else came back really quick from the TJ surgery. Who came back? Did Trout have it freaky quick?
No, I don't know who had it.
I don't remember.
There was another people, but I think we've that is not the norm. It's just not the norm. And there is a real misconception there. And he's a developmental guy, and then he got injured. So and there were setbacks in his rehab. This is good. This is really nice to see. Fuzz, are you over the Painter talk because it's been so long, or
it's do or die?
It's do or die. Okay. Yeah.
Like, he has to be the number 5 starter.
I mean, he's performing like he's going to possibly be the number 4 if he can keep this up.
Number 4? What are you talking about? Who is the Eagle starters, by the way? You got Wheeler, who's going to miss 4 starts. You got
Nola,
Sanchez,
Luzardo.
Who's also looking really good.
What's his name? Hold on, let me go to it here. I have my other screen up here with all the. Now, this is the wrong roster. That's right. I was looking up. This is what I was looking up earlier. Was Kyle? Who the other 2 guys were? Kyle Backus was. Isn't that the guy from the Marlins? That if we release him, he's got to go back to the Marlins. Is that who that is? Kyle Backus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luzardo, Nola, Painter, Sanchez, Walker.
Oh, Taiwan Walker.
Walker. Jesus Christ, we forgot about the
Oh
$80
my
million
God, I
guy.
forgot he's still there.
$50 million guy. And then, and so the guys who are really just fighting it out, there's just quite a few that are just, I think there's just 2 spots left. If I count the bullpen, I think so. McCambly. That's the Marlins guy. McCambly. He's the one. And Zach Pop, he's another righty that they're toying
No
with,
idea.
especially with Strom. Obviously having not coming back to the team. So and this might be where we just start segueing into the Eagles talk, but Philly Fanatic, what injuries do you all foresee this season? I see none.
My liver.
Everyone's going to be super healthy. And I think that there is going to be Tom McCarthy might trip over a mic cable. But aside,
How cool was Tom McCarthy chilling out? Just some banquet.
It was awesome.
yeah, titties out and all, he didn't care.
This is going to be the injury. The garage beer to my liver.
So was it you who sent the that garage beer was doing the did the special edition can?
No, jersey. They did a jersey.
No. They're doing a summer special edition can, and someone's like, "Oh, what do you mean special edition? It already is a light beer." And they were like, "Nah, it's just a special can." They were for look, there's an eagle on it. They were like, "Oh, it's just a silver can with an eagle on it." Maybe that's what it is. I don't understand beer. Like.
Yeah, I guess.
There's all these special editions, and people go nuts when Sam Adams releases this one and that one. I don't get it.
No, I'm a beer guy. Like, I mean, I did like for the USA game. Shout out to Drunk Phil's fans. I didn't like he had a ton of people over.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
But I was drinking mimosas and doing shots of Fireball all day at 8:30 in the morning. We need more.
Watch out for that first step. It's a doozy.
We need more 9 a.m. Philadelphia sports games.
I think we can maybe do the. I would love to do the Field of Dreams game with them.
That would be amazing.
You mean watch it over there?
Yeah, and just do maybe a live cast on the Field of Dreams game. That would be cool.
Yeah, except we're gonna be on the ship.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Whatever. It happens.
He's like,
Scheduling conflict. Eric.
yes.
Speaking of drama, the Eagles have had a drama-free offseason, right?
Oh, of course. Of
Right?
course they didn't.
Oh, wait.
I mean,
Oh wait, no, it's
What?
not. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's August 13th. I apologize.
All right.
so you're
Back
not
on,
gonna give
guys.
a shit. All right. So we're gonna have to work on that. Field of Dreams at the DFP garage.
Did I just invite ourselves over there and make it? I think I did. Yeah, whatever.
I'm gonna cut this.
We're gonna show up. We're gonna show up right at the door. And
First,
Are we?
take a big step back and literally fuck your own face.
That's what they're going to be like first thing in the morning when we're knocking on the door with a case of garage beer going, hey, we're here.
so what's going on in Eagle Land?
Oh, well, let's see. Well, good news is Lane Johnson and Dickerson will be back. That's the good news. They are coming back. Bad news is AJ Brown probably won't be back. It's at the point now where I don't believe that they can bring him back. Like I really don't. It's gotten to that point. I thought maybe having Mannion come in, he could sit down and talk, but no, Mannion's he's not rocking the boat. He's not doing anything. He's letting Howie and Nick do what they got to do. What's up, Chris?
Chris is going to give us the code to the garage. He's going to the game probably. I just texted him.
Nice. do a live cast. Well, they're not there.
Yeah.
Don't forget to leave us your Wi-Fi. Yeah, no, I think we're at the point where it's going to be an interesting offense next year, because chances are we're not going to have AJ Brown. Chances are we're not going to have Dallas Goedert. And it's right now I'm trying to figure out who Jalen Hurts is throwing to other than Devontae Smith.
That's not a terrible option.
No, it's not, but you go from 3 good options to 1 option.
Eric?
Hey, that's for Chris. That was for Chris. Remember that.
What did I do?
That's just speaking.
I'm not trading AJ Brown.
All right, so let's get into the cold hard facts that we do know, Eric. What's the situation that the Eagles are in factually for trading him, and the dates that revolve around dead money and things like that?
Okay, so if say they are going to trade him, well, we'll do the cuts first. All right,
It's a
we'll
lot
do
of
the
money.
Right, yeah. So if they cut him, and of course all these numbers are from overthecap.com. This way everybody, they're the most reputable site out there for contract stuff. So let's just say if they were to cut AJ Brown before June 1st of 2026, that's a $72.4 million dead cap charged for that year, I mean this year of 2026. Now, if they cut him after June 1st, it's around 46 million dead cap that is spread into 2027. So it's actually 45.4 million, but I'm just going to round it off to say 46 million. So it would be spread out between 26 and 27.
So a shitload of money on release.
On release, correct.
Gotcha.
So now the trade scenario. If they trade him before June 1st, that's about 43.4 million in dead cap hit for this season of 2026. If they trade him after June 1st, it is about 16.4 million dead cap for 2026. So,
breaking news.
Oh,
Word on the street, there is an asking price for AJ Brown.
yes.
It is being reported that it is now, because that we're in a non-tampering type of it's floated. This is the floating street price for an AJ Brown from the Eagles is a first, and I did not say I said and second round pick. That is the asking price for AJ Brown. So I just wanted to make sure that was being floated out to pre-tampering teams. Obviously, what are we, about a week out before we can really do any type of negotiations?
Well, free agency. Yes.
Right.
And that's what you have to understand is you're always going to put a number out there. And if you turn around and some team gives you a first and a second, for a 28-year-old all-pro wide receiver, DK Metcalf just got traded, and he got traded for a second and a 7.
You take that deal. So like
you have to
say it, Fuzz. You take that 100%. If we get a 1 and a 2, you take 32nd in the first, and a low second is fine too. What are you talking about? 100%.
No, it's got to be a top 15 pick. It can't be the 32nd pick.
Okay. So you're saying no, hold on. You're saying top 15 of the first round?
Yes.
No.
He's an all-pro wide receiver.
I'll take anything in the first and a top 15 in the second.
So you want 2 second-round picks, is what you're saying?
That's not what I said. I said I take a high
first round. The 32nd pick is a second-round pick, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm sorry, a low and a high.
You're gonna eat all that money, so it's got to be more.
I hear what you're saying, but the draft capital we have, we can turn around and turn that into so much more as well. Like, imagine getting. We still have insurance. We have so much draft capital still going into this draft. Just getting a 1 and a 2 gives us more trade capital that we could pick up another one receiver or 2 receiver, because I think I've said all season to you guys both that Devontae is the number 1 to me. You guys keep talking about this AJ fella, but I only see Devontae as the number 1 in my mind and heart. I said it here first, Devontae. Love you.
Bro, he's not going to sleep with you.
A girl
Yeah.
can dream.
It's too funny.
Hey now.
Yeah, I don't know. I look, in a perfect world, I see AJ Brown on this team. I don't know if it's going to happen now. I really don't. I really don't. I don't know if they're going to be able to make this work.
Was this my fault that I bad juju it? Remember, I kind of called for this in week 15 or 16, or maybe it was after that one performance. I said, I don't think I see him on this team next year.
Well,
And this was prior to the playoffs. He just
Well-
played so poorly in that last game, man.
Well, the reason why I say that, because I know there's a lot of rumors that involve him and the New England Patriots, which also he is a lifelong fan of the New England Patriots. But there's 2 things that have happened. Well, one thing that's happened over this last week at the Combine, and
Hello, anybody home?
and a little bit of history when it comes to AJ Brown and the current head coach of the New England Patriots. Vrabel was completely pissed off when he found out in Tennessee that they traded AJ Brown. And then moving forward to this week at the Combine, he was interviewed and he may have screwed up and may have tipped the cap towards what could be coming down the line. He made some real interesting comments about how him and AJ Brown are like always talking, constantly texting each other all the time, like during the season, off season stuff. And he's kind of insinuating that something could be coming down the line. And then he had to kind of like backtrack a little bit after he realized that the meathead that he is. He had to like backtrack a little bit on some of his comments and try and swing it. No, I didn't mean it like that, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. So for him to make like offhanded comments like that and kind of like put smoke where there could be fire, it tells me that either he completely killed a deal that could possibly happen, or just heated up talks for something to happen. Because, I mean, if you look at it, look at the season Drake May just had. You put AJ Brown on that team, guess what? That kid's going to be amazing. AJ Brown will be amazing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where they go from here, but it's really getting more and more difficult. And then with AJ Brown joking around on that podcast, when asked about the New England Patriots and stuff, and he like kind of gives an offhanded wink, So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to play it.
This
tough.
is me. As soon as is like, I was like, the beginning of the end.
Stop! Don't come back.
The way he was just knobbing on the Patriots, like, okay,
Yeah.
dude. Well,
I mean, I know that they were his favorite team growing up and everything, but if anything was lining up for him to go somewhere, it's there.
Listen, I get what you're saying about Drake May and AJ Brown, but since you've opened that Pandora's box, I want to see what Drake May is going to do against the first place schedule, because he absolutely looked like me against Seattle.
Oh yeah, I mean they did not play good at all because they didn't play anybody all year.
Right. And listen, I always sit there and say I never fault a team for having the schedule they had. The Eagles had a pretty easy schedule in 2022.
play the schedule you got. We've said it all the time.
You play the schedule you got. The Eagles had a really hard schedule. It was always the Eagles had an easy road last year to the playoffs. This and that, and then you go in and you shit on the Chiefs, and then they had a first place schedule this year, and they won 11 games. That's good. I want to see what a third year Drake May does. I want to see it. I don't like. I said it from the beginning. I said it from the beginning of the playoffs. I didn't think New England was going to be this lackluster blockbuster team that's going to go out and shit on everybody. Granted, they did shit on the Texans, but let's be realistic. CJ Stroud, he's a choke artist. I don't know if anybody can disagree that the guy had 5 turnovers in a game, and there was no hatred to it. Oh my God, can you imagine? And I'm going to go back to the AJ Brown thing. Can you imagine the hatred and the talk that would be for Hurts if he did that? Now I'm going to switch back to AJ Brown and the talk that you're talking about. Let's be realistic. I know this is going to piss a lot of people off. Some people might disagree with me. I really think Philadelphia at this moment in time could disappear in a couple years is America's team because they're always in the news for stupid shit. Am I wrong? AJ Brown, this. Landon Dickerson's retiring. Lane Johnson's retiring. Fucking what?
Vic Fangio's retiring.
Vic Fangio's retiring. It's Sean Mannion is this, and the other guy Kevin Patullo is a passing coordinator with Tua, which is I can't wait to see that shit. But and I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not being facetious. I'm saying right now I feel the way the media is driven, just like it was in the 70s and 60s and 70s, of how good Dallas was, and they got coined America's team. I think right now, since 2022, I just think that the Eagles are America's team because they're always in the news. In the 90s, the Cowboys were in the news. They were America's team. They were winning Super Bowls and dealing drugs and doing crazy shit. So they were always in the news.
Offensive line built by cocaine.
Right. And I always feel like in the early 2000s, the Patriots were America's team because they were in the news all the time. From scandals, from winning Super Bowls. And I just think it's taken that 360-degree drive, and I think the Eagles are going to be in maybe not 360. Shut up, math teacher. I knew once I said it, I was like, I'm not even correcting myself. I'm just rolling with it. There you go. But I just think that the Eagles right now in the last 4 to 5 seasons, they've been America's team because everybody's talking about them. They're always in the news.
So here's the breakdown for me, and I've been trying to rationalize why some quarterbacks get the pass, some quarterbacks don't.
We don't do that here. We don't rationalize. Grow up.
And so I think part of it, and I'm going to still land. I'm gonna, like a magician who ruins the trick. I am going to tell you I'm still gonna land and say that I still think that Jalen Hurts gets treated very, very poorly in the city of Philadelphia, and nationally. So that's where I'm going to land. There's no surprises here, but I think one of the problems is the NFL, the media over the last decade has been very quick to anoint the next Tom Brady. And especially in the last 5 years. And they think they were getting that with Patrick Mahomes. They thought that with Joe Burrow, and then Josh Allen, and then Lamar Jackson, and then comes along Jalen. And so they don't want to give him the pass right away. They don't want to give him the right. We're not going to, because we've been burnt by giving everyone this kind of like the next GOAT label, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, the next GOAT label should be Patrick Mahomes. And at the end of the day, who are we kidding? But after Jalen won the Super Bowl, that's when he should have gotten his flowers. And they decided to double down, right? It's a safe bet at that point to say, yeah, this guy could be he's elite. He's top tier, right? And so because of that overhanging him, I think AJ has been able to kind of wedge that and use that as kind of like a way to spark. And I said this, he is terrible at trolling. He is so bad at it. So bad at trolling. He's not AJ Brown. It's not.
I think he's great at it.
No, because it's too vague to be good. Right? It's not a thinker, it's a stinker, right? You're literally trying to start shit, right? Whereas Bryce Harper, not elite t-shirt, attaboy Harper, right? You know who it's directed at, you know what it means, you know the message is clear, there's no ambiguity, but it's still passive aggressive. And I think that's where AJ completely, he's like a little man child when he goes online and is like doing this like high school indirect social media posting. You make a lot of money, dude. You make a lot of money. Grow up, act like a businessman, do it right. Your vibes, your juju is all off. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I can agree with that situation, but then why can't we turn around? I mean, we do, and they do, and then people get in their feelings about it. Why do people get in their feelings when the athletes and the fans call out the reporters, the social media, this and that? Like, again, I still go back to 2024 when WIP played the victim on the AJ Brown Jalen Hurts situation. That was not on my bingo card. They were like, we didn't do anything. Well, WIP hasn't been spewing shit for 25 years, and it finally caught up to him. Literally, they got attacked by every single Philadelphia sports fan that time, and they did not know what to do. But they make, some of them make millions, and there has to be consequences for your actions. When you sit there with take after take after take and troll after troll after troll, yeah, maybe he does get traded. Because of that. Because listen, it happened in 2024. The constant thing the entire 2024 season was the Eagles. The Eagles aren't good. Jalen Hurts isn't good. He's not going to lead them to the promised land. There's no way Saquon Barkley can do this. They're not going to do it. And then literally what happened weeks after the Super Bowl? They took the FS1 sports station and fired every single body with their bad takes, except the one guy who was like, nah, man, Jalen Hurts is cool. Like he's a good quarterback. He's got his issues, but like he's not this loser that everyone thinks he is. That was Colin Cowherd, who I can't stand, but he's the only one who did get fired because he kept it real 100%. Every single buddy on that FS1 Sports Talk Radio got fired because they were shitty at their job. And right now, AJ Brown is not shitty at his job. AJ Brown was not an all-pro football player until he became a teammate of Jalen Hurts. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone's really. I mean, we're definitely not claiming he's like a shitty player, but he's definitely trying to talk his way out of the city, and it's not going to be the media's fault. He's doing this. He's the one that is making these comments, and when he gets asked about him, when he wants to answer him, he answers them. I mean, this isn't some, and you know me, I'd love to say this is all the media's fault that they're creating something, but they're not. AJ Brown is creating this, so that's why I don't think he's going to be here. This isn't some story that the Eagles are throwing out there to try and make a trade, or something that the Patriots are trying to get started, by going through social media or any type of media outlet. This is AJ Brown. He knows what he does. I mean, look what happened the other day when the football player that just sadly took his life. He put a 9-minute post out on Instagram talking about mental health. He knows what he's doing. He goes from trying to talk his way out of the city to advocating, against these guys. Like there's another option than ending your life, and starts talking about his story. So he's a smart guy, and he's definitely working his way in. He's working an angle somewhere. He's working an angle, especially with this, all this Patriot talk. I mean, he's smart. Is he pandering to the media? Oh yeah.
You say smart. I say this is sneaky, right? All that stuff, because there are times where now
how can it be sneaky if he's doing it online? Like it's everyone for see. I'm just asking. Now I'll let you go.
So sneaky in the sense where you have people like Howie coming up to him, reported, we want to work this out. If you're not happy, if what's going on, All of these things, he has been approached. He's nah, I'm good. He's so good. Is he? Are you sure? Because he's still doing this sneaky stuff. Now, when I say sneaky, I mean that's you don't negotiate online and throw indirect shade and let people to figure it out. It's cryptic. And definitely, yeah, he's walking himself out of the city with going on and glazing the New England Patriots. I mean, he didn't just say they were his favorite as a kid and he respects it. He glazed them. Dude, for the last 5 years, they were complete garbage. Okay? Like, so for him to go on and to like glaze him after one season, after the season before you won the Super Bowl, okay, you want to go there. We get it. We hear you. We all hear you. But we want a first and a second round pick for you. I mean,
See, I think at the end of the day, I think he's going to go for 2 second-round picks. I really do.
I'd still be fine with it.
I would too.
I said it at the end of last season. There's no more room for him on this team. If you're not gonna be the glue, that's fine. That's fine. If you're not gonna do that, that is complete. But you can't be like the adhesive dissolvent, right? You can't be corrosive to the glue. You can't be corrosive to the system. And I think he is corrosive to the system. I can't trust him. I can't trust him anymore.
I mean, yeah, I see your point there. I do. I mean, I still love the guy, but I mean, I really don't have any bad feelings towards him. I'm just not happy with how things are going right now. And trust me, well, I'm not going to be happy if he is gone because this team is way better with him on it than without him on it. But just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, got to see how the dominoes fall.
Yeah. What else we got? Any other all-season talk?
I mean, Nakobe Dean's probably gone.
Yeah, sadly.
Somebody brought it up to me yesterday. Nakobe Dean or Reed Blankenship both might be gone, and I'm like, I don't. You got to keep one of them. You can't go into the season with Makuba and not another linebacker, or Makuba and not Reed Blankenship. Like, Reed Blankenship can't cost you that much money. He can't. He was an undrafted guy.
He's an undrafted guy, but look what he's turned into. That's the thing. I mean, I know Keith isn't sold on him.
I'm not really sold on him.
So it's your fault he's not resigning. I'm personally holding you responsible.
So I do think he is going to resign. I think Reed Blankenship will resign. I definitely think he is just trying to figure out the money situation. He's going to watch for a couple of re-signings, see how those go, see how the draft goes. Possibly.
Well, you also got to see if there's going to be people knocking down the door for him.
Right.
You know, it's if
there's a demand.
If there's a demand for it, there's only going to be one. If I had to take a guess, it would be the Dallas Cowboys because our secondary coach is their defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they got to pay Pickens, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone's going to be knocking down the door for Reed Blankenship. I mean, he's a good safety, you know, no doubt, but he's also had good safeties playing next to him. You know,
how much does dead cap go up this season? Like 20 million?
It went up 20. What did you post? You posted that the other day.
I missed it.
I think it was like 20 million. Is that what it was, Eric? You posted.
I believe so.
I know it goes up every year steadily. Like that's but I thought it was 20 million on. So the reason I bring it up is because I think there is a way to keep both of them if they restructure a few deals. So, and I don't know how that is going to go over. There aren't exactly, it doesn't seem like there are guys, with guys considering retirement, I don't think they're going to take a restructure deal.
True. Yeah, no.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
that's Howie magic, right? That I feel like and I think that's where he excels. He kind of dodged one or two bullets with the whole coaching situation, right?
Right.
So, and with having the possibility of Lane and Landon, returning, I don't know if what capacity they're going to diminished roles, diminished reps. Having them in a capacity would be good, but there's that worry there. So off season wise, they're there's a lot of faith in Coop, what they're planning with Cooper DeJean. I think he is going to be ultimately what they're going to build the team around positionally.
What do you think, Chris?
Are you ready for this offseason to lose N'Kobe Dean, Reed Blankenship, and AJ Brown?
Well, I'm not ready for it, but I can absolutely say with all confidence that I think our cabinets are going to get raided this offseason. I think this team is going to be completely different on both sides of the football. You're going to lose your clear-cut leader with N'Kobe Dean. I mean, I know he's got some injury issues, but he's a straight-up leader. I mean, what he did is amazing. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Jahad Campbell. I love the kid, but he is not a N'Kobe Dean. N'Kobe Dean is just something all of his own. I mean, there's worries about Jordan Davis. I mean, you got guys who the Bulldogs that have been together almost 10 years basically between college and the pros, and these guys are going to get torn apart. So I mean, we're looking at, and I truly believe this, we're looking at a new face for both sides of the football. And I don't know which one is more. I don't know which one is going to be more devastating. If they lose AJ Brown on offense, or if they're losing N'Kobe Dean on defense. If they're losing N'Kobe Dean and Blankenship, you know what I mean? An offense, Brown and Goddard. There's going to be some major changes, and I think it's going to. This is where Howie's season comes in. How does he replace this? Because I think they're going to get absolutely shackled in free agency.
Well, here let's look at it this way. So they have 5, I believe, confirmed picks in the draft. They have the 23rd overall for the first round, the 54th and the second, the 68 in the third. I think they have a 5th round. That's from the Falcons trade. And then I know there's going to be some compensatory picks, but I don't think they're announced yet. And let me see if these are announced. No. So those picks will be announced actually in the spring, it says here. And so with the Eagles already needing an edge rusher, a cornerback, a safety, a tight end in the upcoming draft, that was all things that they needed to address significant losses or to at least enhance some of the things that they're trying to do. I don't know where there is room to replace a Reed Blankenship or not. I think you go for Reed over N'Kobe Dean, but am I crazy for saying that, Eric? I don't.
If you're looking to save money, you go in that direction. If you're looking to keep your defense stable, you keep N'Kobe Dean. If you're looking to keep a locker room leader, you keep N'Kobe Dean. So, and that was the biggest thing that was one of the biggest reasons why Brandon Graham came back. The team needed help. They needed a veteran locker room presence, and he brought that. And you don't think that Nakobe Dean learns off of a guy like Brandon Graham? So, you know what I mean? So there's a lot. There's a lot that's going to happen. There's a lot that's going to go on. And I mean, I would like to say that AJ Brown being the biggest star of them all, being the only thing to worry about, but there's going to be a lot of player personnel on both sides of the ball to worry about if they're going to be back or not. So it's, like I said, this is where Howie's season rolls in. And look, he's not going to be able to replace, like if they get destroyed in free agency, he's not going to be able to replace everybody in one off season. He's just not. So, I mean, you're looking at not a rebuild, just a retooling, and you're going to have to find pieces over the next couple of years. Although I still think that they'll be stable and still be a good defense over these next couple of years, even if they lose a few key players. I feel that their drafts have helped them, like have guys in the pipeline to replenish that. I'm more worried about offense.
Yeah, and I think that's a valid concern because of O-line, that wasn't solved clearly from last year. It's issues.
They all played hurt. They were all hurt.
And so that is still clearly a question mark. And then, you've got the question mark with AJ Brown. So that is clearly, I know there are, I know this is a draft heavy, a wide receiver, draft. I do know that. So there is that. And people are like, yeah, but you're giving up a Pro Bowler for a rookie you have to work with and develop and all those things. Yes. But if you get the price you're asking for, even if it's a first and a second round or 2 second rounds, I think getting rid of the locker room issue is the first thing that needs to happen, because I can now point to 2 different times in 2 different seasons where I can say AJ Brown has been at the center or there's drama. And we all know you love the Patriots, bro. We get it. We get it.
Yeah. And another factor for me is why I think he won't be here next season is you can't ignore that last game that he played. You can't ignore that. Like, that was a complete lack of effort. Like, that was giving up. He did not want to, he looked like he did not want to be out there. So when you start playing like that, you're forcing the team's hand. You're forcing your ownership, your general manager, and your coaches to sit down, and your head coach, and sit down and talk and make one of those tough decisions that are made every single year in the NFL for many teams.
Right.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a business. So,
yeah, and I'll say this to you, and I don't think it's really a surprise or a shock. I think we're going first round with a tight end, especially with the Goddard drama that has been. I don't want to say it's drama. I just he's going to free agency. And I think while he had a very respectable season with touchdowns, that's because AJ got shut down or didn't want to play or wasn't available or whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, we went to Devontae and Dallas Goedert for some easy touchdowns. So, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is with that.
He's no Antonio Gates to me. You know what I'm saying? He's
no.
Yeah, there's no.
I mean, look, he came back on a very team friendly 1-year deal and had a career season.
Right.
In another contract season. So I mean, he did exactly what you would expect a player to do of his caliber. He's always been good. He's always been a very good pass catching tight end.
Right.
So am I surprised that he set the franchise record for touchdowns by a tight end of the season? No. Was I surprised that he was tied for 4th overall in receiving touchdowns in the league? Yes. So that's going to help him get paid. And hey, more power to him. I love the guy. He was part of a great Super Bowl run that he won. He's got a Super Bowl title. And I think at the end of the day, he's just going to cash in and do what players do. Like they're playing a game to set themselves up for life, set their families up for life. I don't know what it's like if he's got a girlfriend or kids or whatever, but he's setting himself up for the rest of his life. And that's why these guys. That's why they got free agency. So hey, I mean, and I'd hate to see him go, but if he goes, hey man, I love you, but I feel you, I hear you.
This is one of those situations where I didn't see him as an Eagle for life, and okay, if we're rebuilding, we're doing it, man. We are definitely redoing it. So I'm here for it.
And there are going to be tight ends out there that are decent. Now, are they going to be the same as him? No, but they're going to be adequate enough to be your starting tight end one and be out there every down.
I'd love to see a blocking tight end again, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see that. And to be honest with you, they could go out and get themselves a real good, decent tight end. And who knows? I mean, Zach Ertz wants to play. If Zach Ertz if he can pass all the tests that he needs to pass, I'd bring him in to be your tight end too. He's not going to get a ton of time, but I would bring back a guy who's having a very good couple seasons in Washington. So, I mean, he had a resurgence.
He wasn't a slouch, but
no,
he's going to be a few million to get him on a 1-year deal.
Will definitely be cheaper than anybody else out there because of the injury.
He's not $1 million, but he'll be at least 3 to 5, somewhere in that range, I think.
Will definitely be cap friendly. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we got? I mean, we did an hour and a half show, bro.
Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting that.
It's what we do. Stop.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's what happens when we don't have a script. We just start. Oh, what about this? Well, let's talk this one. I love it.
Yeah.
But no, I have nothing else, my guy.
Awesome. All right. So, do you have a date for when Philly podcast comes back?
As of right now,
I know the draft is end of April, so we're definitely doing a draft.
Yeah, I think right now the only thing on the docket for the Philly podcast is going to be the draft. As of right now,
okay.
Until obviously free agency hits. So I think we're going to let it play out and see what happens with free agency, because there may be a lot to talk about, who we bring in and who may leave. Yeah.
I just was just going to start setting things up for that. So we do have the season. Is that season 8? We're season 8 on the Philly podcast now.
It'll be season 8.
Choo. Okay, so season 8 will be starting up in April. Also season 3, no 4, 3, 4. Whatever.
I think for the Hall of Fame Club.
Yeah,
I think you guys are going to be on season 4.
Sweet, look at us. And because this is season 2 of the Northeast Philly podcast, so I'm gonna say this started like when we were bored off season. So so we have the Hall of Fame Club podcast coming back. That will actually start in 2 weeks. So that will be in probably, I believe we're Wednesdays at 8:00. Don't count on that. I'm not the TV guide. You can definitely subscribe, check out our channel. You'll get alerts just to know when we're coming on, and we will schedule them ahead of time. And we try to be as regularly as possible, unless one of our co-hosts is coaching. He coaches a million sports, one of them. And so just bear with us, but we'll definitely always get to what we need to get to. And then always tune in for special episodes of the Northeast Philly podcast, where we just bullshit most of the time, and structured bullshit, if you will. Generally a theme, a draft night, a show of some sort. There's also some games that we have kind of planned out that I will be hosting, that I will be making you guys play. very soon. So those are some of the things coming up for the Northeast Philly podcast. Do you have anything else to plug?
Honestly, no, not right now. I mean, we do have some stuff in the works for the Philly podcast. Devontae Smith. Yeah, we do have some things in the works for the Philly podcast. So as always, like Keith said, follow us on the Broken Bell Network YouTube channel. Slam that like and subscribe buttons and keep up to date with everything that's going on with Broken Bell Network and Philly podcast and Northeast Philly podcast and Hall of Fame Club, because it's going to be a fun 2026-27.
Hell yeah. Sorry, I got nothing. All right. We are out of here, and we appreciate you all for hanging out with us, chatting, and look at this guy. How was your poopy?
He's like, not good.
No, I tore him right through. Fuzzy's been missing. For those of you who are catching us on podcast right now, and you don't have the magic of the tube, Fuzzy's been missing, and it's just really obviously that's why you've only been hearing Eric and myself talk. But he probably had something of a cheese-based product, and yeah.
I had a cheeseburger and crab fries from Chicky and Pete's.
So not because I don't want anyone to think we're doing a bit. Did you tell me at any point that that's what you had?
No.
I saw the way you abruptly left, and I knew that could only be one thing, was a cheese product that could cause such a. I've seen it happen before, so it's over the last 20 years, I may have seen it easily over a dozen times. Just you stop speaking to people, you immediately get sweaty, and then you just disappear.
You get sweaty.
The last time I left Rita's in my car,
it was like the hottest day of the year, dude. And he runs out. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even put the car in park. It just starts rolling up to his house. He heads up to the door. I jump out. I stop the car. I jump into the driver's seat. It was crazy. And I bring it in his water ice, and my God, it's just. And I put it in the freezer, and it comes down. He always looks at me. He's like, doesn't even go out to the car for the water ice. That was the last thing he thought about. Then I told him I got the water ice free. He goes, "Oh, thank God." It's not good. Still Chickies, dude. Why do you always do that?
I don't know.
It's Chickies.
It is what it is.
No. But he doesn't have to order a cheeseburger with cheese fries. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yes, you do.
He's lactose intolerant.
Well, then he's an idiot.
And he doesn't take anything. He doesn't go to the store and buy anything like lactate pills or anything. He doesn't. He just
deals with it.
But everyone else has to deal with it.
Okay. All right. We're done talking about his lack of tolerance for. Okay.
This is great. I could do a whole thing on how terrible. Fuzz, when are we seeing Gillis? When's that happening?
July.
I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll do some Gillis reviews, some Shane Gillis type video reaction videos.
Can't wait.
I don't think JV has seen a lot of Gillis stuff. How?
No,
where are you?
No, you gotta have a special kind of sense of humor to like Shane Gillis and tires and all that.
Eric, where are you at? Where's Gillis rate for you?
Oh, he's a guy that I'd like to see. He's funny, man. I like him. I completely like him. He's getting up into the Bill Burr status for me.
Yeah, we're gonna see him at the link in the round. To perform the link in the round. He's trying to beat Kevin Hart's record. Nice.
Well, I hope he gets it.
Yeah, I mean it's already sold out, so I mean he has essentially beaten it already, but and his configuration seats more. But we'll talk more about that. All right, we're out of here. Fuzzy, any final thoughts now that you've given birth?
No, I
I'm sure you were listening to us while you were.
So a couple things I want to point out.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball. Here we go. Philly special.